Hello? Oh, now you can. Good morning, everybody. If you could take your seats so that we can get started, that would be wonderful. So first, some ground rules. It's very nice for our former graduates to come and talk to you guys about their experience beyond Berlin High School. Please be respectful. Let's not be talking, horsing around, or, please don't do that. So, we are very lucky today to have the class of 2024's graduates here to talk to our next class of graduates of 2025, just to talk about an experience above and beyond Berlin High School and what their experiences have been. So we're going to start off, they're all going to introduce themselves, they're going to talk about their major, anything that they're involved in, clubs and organizations and stuff, and what school they're attending, and then we're going to get into the deeper questions. At the end, we will have a little Q&A, so please hold your questions and any applause till then. Appreciate it. Okay, Dee.
Hello, I'm Dee Mack. I go to Central Connecticut State University, and I'm majoring in biology.
Hello, I'm Charles Pinchera. I go to the University of Connecticut. I'm a finance major, and I'm part of the Ultimate Frisbee team and the honors program.
Hi, I'm Jessica Pettit. I go to University of New Haven, and I'm on the softball team, and I'm in the Women's in Business Club, and my major is sports management.
Hi, I'm Katie Allen. I go to Nichols College. I'm a digital and social media marketing major, and I'm involved in the marketing club and the Institute for Women's Leadership Club.
Hi, my name's Giovanna Pandolfo. I attend Middlesex Community College. I'm a math major, and I'm part of the sports club, and I'm vice president of it.
Hi, I'm Connor Lindsay. I go to Worcester Polytechnic Institute. I major in mechanical engineering, and I play on the club tennis team.
I'm Calvin Allude. I go to the University of South Carolina. I'm a broadcast journalism major with a sports media focus.
Fantastic. Thanks, guys. Okay, so we're going to get started. We're going to ask some questions. Like I said, then you guys can ask your questions at the end. Okay, I'm going to start with you, Dee. So, do you find that it's easy to communicate with your professors and meet with them for additional support, or can you just go and see your professor whenever you want, and they're there and they're going to help you out and talk to you?
Honestly, it kind of depends on the professor. For me, like 2 out of 5 of my professors, I can honestly just walk into their room and ask them questions. Others, I have to email them. It really just depends, I gotta be honest. You just have to communicate, you just have to talk to them, because if you don't, then you won't get anywhere, I gotta be honest.
Cool. Charles, so you go to UConn, and obviously, more than half your class pretty much applies to UConn. Did you have any thoughts about running into people from BHS? Do you run into a lot of people from BHS? How was your experience with that?
Yeah, I would say I probably see one person from BHS on the daily. It's always good to see a familiar face. It's a healthy balance. I've met a lot of new people at UConn, but it's always great. Especially, I know some people from BHS, even in the honors program, and it really is a good time, and it makes it feel like I'm not too far away from home.
Cool. Okay. Jess, do you feel as though, as you're moving into as a freshman, there was a good support/transition program? Do they have classes or anything to get the freshmen used to being in college? What's your school? What does UNH have in place?
I would say there's definitely a good transition program, and they really make you feel like home transitioning from high school to college. There's a resource program, and our advisors are really, and professors are really helpful on making you feel comfortable.
Fantastic. Okay, Katie. So, we heard a little bit of your story before, so I'm going to let you talk about dorm life. So are you able, A, to come and go as you please? Do you have rules about that? Can you have as many people over as you would like? And what happens if you get into an argument or you and your roommate don't really get along?
So Nichols is a very small school, so you're in one building with all the freshman class. I know I'm in a friend group, and we all live down the hall from each other, and it gets very dramatic at times. As it goes for roommates, make sure you know who you're rooming with before you get into it. I know personally I put in for a room change. I didn't know who my roommate was. You can have as many people over as you want as long as you agree with your roommate. I know the first week they try to get a roommate agreement where they have a bunch of different like agreements like who's going to clean the room, who can you have over, what time do you go to bed, and all that, and they make you sign it. But try to like put boundaries in for who's coming over, when they come over, if the person can leave the room, and all that.
So did you put that in place ahead of time, or have you just experienced from moving forward in the year that you needed to do
we
that?
definitely put that in ahead of time, and she's just going against the roommate agreement. So,
Cool. All right. Okay, Giovanna. So you go to Middlesex, so you're a commuter. Do you find it difficult to make connections with people being a commuter, even though all of you guys are? What do you do like with your time between classes? Are you part of, you talked about being part of clubs. Do they like happen during that time?
So, as someone that commutes back and forth, it's not too bad making connections with students because, like you said, everybody commutes. So, you kind of find time where, like, you both don't have to leave or go to class. So, you can spend time during that time to, like, actually make connections. With my time in between classes, I'm either managing a club or I am just in the game room. We have a game room where like we could play pool, cards, just hang out and talk. Like you can kind of just do anything in that time. A lot of people do leave, but the people that do leave, I don't know. So, but yeah.
So people like leave in between. So let's say your class ended at 11, you don't have one till 1, people leave campus, then come back at times.
Yeah, I personally don't because I lose all motivation. It honestly helps if you just stay there, even though if your time is very like long and you don't feel like staying there, it kind of gives you like a reason to go to that late class because once you get home and then you come back, it's like you kind of don't have that like get going anymore.
Makes sense. Connor, okay, so you are, Worcester's a city. What is it like going to school in a city? For example, do you feel as though they make the campus safe? Does that worry you at all? Is there a lot to do, like when you leave campus? I know that there's quite a few schools in your area, but how does your area work?
So WPI has like an enclosed campus within the city, so you don't have to walk through the city to go to your class, so like you don't have to worry about that. But there is a bunch of stuff to do in the city, so it has activities. I had to get my computer fixed, so I had to walk into the city to get it fixed, and it's fine like that. The tennis courts that we practice at are within the city, so I had to walk to those as well. So it's safe in that sense, and yeah, the campus is pretty safe. The only thing is like it can be loud at some points. Like where I live is right near the center of the city, so it can be loud. Like ambulances and fire trucks and police cars like all the time. But that's about it.
Okay, cool. Okay, Calvin, so you are the one that went the farthest, University of South Carolina. So what made you go that far from home, and are you overall happy with that decision? And if, like you're sick, kind of like in a funk, who do you go to? Do you have family down there? Like how does that work for you?
So for me, making the decision, it was just about finding the best program that I could get into, and that happened to be in South Carolina. So it definitely is an adjustment being that far, but it's also been helpful with, like, I have to be responsible and independent, so that's been helpful. But anytime where I'm feeling homesick or anything, I just dive into my work, and so I can make sure I can stay productive.
Cool. And with that question, only because it's USC, right? Kind of like a UConn and all that. Side question. But do a lot of people like commute for USC?
There are definitely a good amount of commuters. Most of them, kind of after freshman year, a lot of people move off campus. So anyone that I know that is an upperclassman and isn't a freshman usually commutes. But most of the freshmen are on campus.
Cool. Oh, that's kind of nice. Okay, Dee, back to you. So talk about the protocol in the classroom. You talked about it a little bit, as far as going to see your professor and all that, but what about if you have an exam and you don't finish it? What about if you have an assignment and you don't finish it on time? How does that work with many of your professors?
Honestly, if you don't do an exam, that's kind of on you. They email you a lot, and most professors, at least for me, I do my tests online, so it's kind of like on my time. For assignments, we have this thing called Blackboard, at least I do, I don't know about you guys. It's kind of like Schoology. If the assignment is off Blackboard, like you can't submit it, it's kind of like you can't do it anymore. So do your assignments, because honestly, if you don't, you won't have a good grade at all.
And do they tell you about them? Like, will they go, you didn't hand your thing in, we're gonna take it late?
No.
No, okay. No late work, you all hear that? Keep that in mind. Okay. Charles, so, couple of questions sort of rolled into one. So you mentioned that you're in the Honors College. Can you, talk about what the requirements were, how you went about getting into the Honors College? Did they contact you, et cetera? And then with that, how is living in the Honors College of UConn? Like, what's different about it from what you've talked about with maybe other people on campus?
Yeah, so basically, I just applied to the Honors College on my Common App application. I think there was a section where you kind of just bubble it in, or you're automatically considered for it. And they contacted me when I got my decision letter, just basically letting me know that I got in, what the Honors College entailed, and then you do have the option, once you're given an offer, to accept or decline it. Now, once you're in the Honors College on campus, your first year, you're gonna live in Buckley and Shippey dorms, which is kind of far from a good amount of like the center and Gamble and all of the main class locations. But they do this so that you're in a community with other honor students trying to meet like new people. And then as far as requirements go for the Honors College, you have to maintain about a 3.4 GPA throughout your entire college career, and you have to take a certain number of honors level courses as well as appear at honors events over the course of your college career. Oh, and with that, also, if you do get into the Honors College, you do have an increased chance of getting a merit-based scholarship. So,
Do they have you have like study hours? Are you on, let's say, the same floor as other people with your degree? Like, how does that work? Not necessarily, or?
no, the degree doesn't affect what floor you're on. I mean, I've met people with all sorts of majors, and as far as study hours go, no, it's kind of on your own time. I mean, you definitely got to take time out of your week to get studying in. What does really help is every honor student is paired up with a peer mentor. So any questions you have that may be too like easy to answer for an advisor, you can kind of just pop into the business, or at least for me, it's in the business school, and pop in there and ask any questions. So that really is a tool that if you do get into the honors program at UConn, I would recommend using.
Great, thank you. So Jess, you were recruited for softball. Can you talk to the audience a little bit about, do you find it difficult to balance? What was the process like from, let's say, high school to college? And then what is your, let's say, practicing schedule and all that look like as far as softball is concerned?
So I would say the recruitment process is definitely different for every sport. For softball, I got recruited later in like my fall of my senior year. It definitely was a little difficult because I felt like I was like behind on the recruitment process. I was definitely talking to multiple schools, but when I went to like find to like an official visit, that's when I definitely knew like New Haven was where I wanted to go. For balancing, it definitely like gives you a reality check. At first, it was difficult to time management, and I had to really find like a way or like a schedule to fit, obviously, going to all my classes, plus like lifting and practices. And like our coaches do a bi-weekly meeting with us, like to check in and make sure like we're okay and like our mental like health. I would say we have mandatory study halls, 4 hours for athletes. So that definitely helped with getting in like homework and stuff. We would have, for my team, we would have Tuesdays and Thursdays, 2 hours. So we would have it at night, which definitely really helped to get like my homework done.
That's awesome. Do you feel like it was nice to have like a group of people that you were already a little bit friendly with because you were already playing a sport?
Yeah, it definitely was because like my team now, obviously at first like meeting all new people from, because me and this other girl are only from Connecticut. People are really from all over, so it's kind of cool like meeting new people and like we have like big sisters and little sisters, so that was definitely nice knowing like we had someone else.
That's awesome. Cool. All right, Katie, you talked a little bit about this. But finding your roommate, was there a process to find a roommate? Did you just get kind of just stuck with a roommate? And then, you were saying put things in place with your roommate, but did you connect with the roommate when you first met her?
Yeah, so I found my roommate on Instagram. There's normally all schools have so mine was Nichols class of 2028, and you'll submit like a picture of yourself, your major, and like your interests and stuff. So I found her through there. It was definitely weird trying to find a roommate. It's kind of like speed dating with different people. And then when you finally decide when, you have to tell other people no. If you don't want to do that, you can go random. I know some people that went random, they don't really like it. They got put with some different people. I'm in a room with just me and one other girl, but the normal are triple rooms, but we have an accommodation because of a medical issue with her. And then during orientation in the summer, you'll have these different classes, and they'll put you through how to select who you want for a dorm. I think that's really it. And then also, like, if you have, like, service animals, you can do that and, like, just put in a request for it. And I think you can have a fish. I have a fish. I think you can. It just depends on the size of, like, the fish tank. This one girl has a kitten, and they just hide it. But
Yep, done that.
that's just because, like, the RAs don't really come in and check that much. Throughout the whole first semester, we had one room check, so it was kind of nice. So she just has the cat just hiding in there.
Okay. So you also talked a little bit about possibly trying to switch roommates. What is that process like so far?
So I had to email Res Life, and I just tell them, like, what's going on, like, how me and my roommate have, like, disagreements, and, like, she isn't, like, what she said she was. And so I emailed them for a possible empty room to move in with one of my other friends. So there was nothing available, but I still put in for a room change, so I filled out this form on what building I live in, what year I am, and, like, what I'm looking for. And they said stuff might open up over winter break, so I just have to wait and see.
Okay. Well, good luck.
Thanks.
Okay, Giovanna. So, Dee talked a little bit about how assignments are handled. How do they typically handle them at your school? Do they give you a syllabus? Are you just supposed to follow that syllabus? You keep the dates, keep all of that. Do your teachers send out weekly reminders for you? How do they handle all of that?
So basically, we also use the same platform, Blackboard, and at the beginning of the semester, you get a syllabus, and that syllabus will go through all like the classroom rules, all like the college's expectations, and then at the end of it, there's usually a calendar, and that calendar is followed directly by the professor, and if you don't hit those due dates, like Dee said, there's no makeups. Like, if you think you bombed a test, you can't make it up, you can't redo homework. It's a big reality check, to be honest, but they don't send out weekly reminders. You have to hold yourself accountable directly, like, to make sure that you are on top of your schedule. Either if you're getting it done early, that's even better, but at least getting it on time. They're usually due like how high school ones are due at like that typical 11:59 time, because we are all on that for some reason. But yeah, they just go based off of the syllabus, and sometimes they'll change it if like something happens. Like, I know Middlesex got shut down for a day because of a water pipe thing, and they basically had everybody, like all the professors, move down their dates just by one day or like one class day because you don't meet every day. It's kind of like here, how you're meeting every other day with that teacher. You could meet them every day, but I don't think a lot of courses do it, to be honest.
Cool, great, thank you. Okay, Connor. So talk about the meal plan. How does that work at your school? Do you get to go like eat whenever you want? Is there like little snack places? Are there things like Starbucks or anything like that on campus? And is your food good?
So the way the meal plan works, you have a certain amount of swipes for each week. So when you accept your offer to the college, or you actually do it when you pick your housing. You can select the level of meal plan you want. So I have 19 meal swipes a week, and then you also get a certain amount of bonus points, which it's just basically money that you can spend wherever. There is a Starbucks and a Dunkin' on campus, so those are both very popular spots. You can use your meal swipes always at the dining hall, so those are your board swipes. And then at my school, they also have flex swipes, which is where you can use them at like places other than the dining hall. So, like, you can use them at Starbucks or Dunkin'. There's a place called Halal Shack, Jamal's Chicken. So just a bunch of different other, like, actual restaurants on campus. And then I think the food's good. You can get a variety. So each day you can get something different if you want. And then also, if you want stuff for your room, because you can have a fridge in your room and you want to eat stuff later, there's a Price Chopper that's, like, right next to our school. So a lot of people go there to get stuff. And we also have the campus center, which you can get like an actual meal at, but they also have snacks and drinks there, so you can use a meal swipe there. So yesterday, since I'm not at school for the rest of the week, my friends and I, we just went there and spent like all of our meal swipes just getting like 30 drinks for our room because, you can use it for that.
You want to use it up while you can, right?
Yeah, because you're paying for it, so you might as well just not let them go to waste.
That's awesome. Okay, Calvin. So you mentioned that you were involved in a few things. So what clubs and activities have you gotten involved in, and what was the process for finding these clubs?
So I'm a part of Student Gamecock Television. I play pickleball, and I've also done theater in USC. But the university really wants you to get involved and do a lot of stuff, so they give you a lot of resources to find these things and get active in them. There's a whole website with just every single club that the school offers, and also there's a lot of student organizations, and they're constantly having fairs and stuff promoting their groups, so it's really easy to find if you look for it.
Cool. And you also mentioned that you have a job and an internship. So on top of the clubs and class and all that, you have both of these things. How did you find those, and how are you balancing all that time with all these different things you have going on?
So I found them kind of just like I knew people and was just in a right place, right time situation. But the school offers a lot of, like they have a career center, and there's a website that they connect with that, has jobs that you can put up for on-campus work. But it's definitely challenging sometimes balancing all that with schoolwork and all these clubs and my internship and my job. But it's really just finding the right balance, making sure I'm not overworking myself. Really scheduling out and planning your day. Like I have a whiteboard and I just plan out my whole week to make sure that I stay on top of everything.
Nice. Fabulous. Okay, so Charles, I was asking you about the process of scholarships, but I'm going to have Charles answer that first, and then any of you guys, I'll ask the question about scholarships, and you can just talk about your experience. So Charles, process of scholarships. Did you apply for any scholarships while you were still at BHS? What was your experience, or did you just get stuff when you got to UConn? How did that work?
Yeah, so I applied to all of the scholarships that BHS and the town of Berlin has to offer. I believe you guys will get a scholarship packet sometime in March, where you'll have the chance to apply to, finance-based, like need-based, or just regular scholarships that organizations are giving out. I did check out. There's some websites such as Going Merry, and there was another one I used. Don't remember it, but great spot to find some scholarships. I didn't actually my mistake. I didn't end up like applying for any of those outside ones. But there's also, which I did get, was merit-based scholarships. So based on your performance in high school, combined with your extracurriculars that you do, you have the chance at getting offered a decent-sized merit-based scholarship from your school. So.
Great. Anybody else have an experience with scholarships? Did you guys apply to a lot of them when you were here? Yeah, go, Katie.
Personally, I didn't apply for any scholarships when I was here, but I know that Nichols, they have this thing called Leap Day where you go the summer before your senior year and you can get accepted or denied right there. So from that, I got a good amount of money just for applying to that. And then they had an admitted student stay and they gave out like $3,000 towards your tuition. They were just like handing out money. Yeah. And then personally, where my mom works, they give me money. So my tuition got cut in like half between financial aid and then just like the outside money that I got.
Nice. So it's worthwhile looking for these things, yes? Mm-hmm. Okay, so how about you, Dee? I know that you applied to a few. No, none of them.
No, I gotta be honest, apply to scholarships, it helps a lot. I kind of took for granted that I didn't do so, and it kind of like became difficult when it came to my tuition, but I figured it out. But yeah, apply to scholarships, it helps.
Anybody else apply?
Trips for BHS, and I won a lot of them, which that definitely helped, like on top of the athletic scholarship. And then UNH was giving out like a president scholarship, so a bunch of like, I know a bunch of me and like my teammates got that too, so that definitely helped with tuition.
Did you guys any down the end?
My school gave me a scholarship, and I also applied to a bunch at BHS. You know, they'll send them out, and it's just like helpful. They're really easy to apply to, and might as well just try and get them.
Calvin, did you?
Yeah, I applied for a few scholarships. Also, once you get there and you meet people, you're going to learn about scholarship opportunities as well. Like the School of Journalism has a bunch of scholarships that you can apply to. So, you know, as long as you talk to people and get to meet some folks, then you'll find opportunities.
That for UConn, in-state tuition is much cheaper than any out-of-state school. So you guys, being all residents of Connecticut, it's just something to think about. It was definitely something that factored into my decision of choosing UConn. So.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, so now we're gonna just talk, so everybody's gonna answer this question as in-depth as you would like. So, what advice would you have for students as they look for future careers or future programs to apply to? Also, if there's one thing that you could go back to your senior self and say to yourself, what would it be? You can start. Sorry. The third I'll wait.
Okay. Honestly, just go in with an open mind. I mean, for me at least, I didn't really know what I wanted to do when it came to going on campus. I know for next semester, I will be joining the CCSU cheer team. I didn't want to do it fall because not that I didn't feel comfortable, but I wasn't too sure if that's what I wanted to do. So it's honestly, you just have to feel it out. You have to feel out your campus, the friends that you meet. It's kind of just like a process. If I could go back and say something to my senior self, grow up. Like, you can't be a kid forever. You have to not be on your own, but understand that you are by yourself. And it can be hard and it can be scary, but just understand you do have people around you for support, but just understand that, like, you're not a kid. And you have responsibilities and you have a lot of things on your plate, and you just have to know how to handle all that.
Awesome. Charles?
Yeah, first and foremost, get involved. Really, like, you have 4 years at the college that you go to, and it's just a great way to meet new people, whether it's joining clubs or a fraternity or being part of sports. It just has really made a big impact on my experience so far. I would also tell myself in high school just to not procrastinate and stay organized. And being organized now and not procrastinating has definitely helped me so far. So, yeah.
Awesome. Jess?
I would say for like advice I have for you guys is definitely manage your time well, and like I would say soak up your last like few months of senior year. I know I wanted it to go by like fast with like all the drama and everything, but I would say definitely like soak up all like the memories that you're making with your classmates, because it's definitely different when you see everyone on social media of your like classmates and you're like, dang, I went to high school and that feels like a while ago. For one thing I would go back, I would say surround yourself by like people who support you, and at the end of the day, like you always have your support system.
Nice.
So for advice for looking into future careers and programs, I know I set up a meeting with my advisor to go and talk about stuff like that. I know Nichols has an app called Handshake, and it has, like, you can put your resume and all that stuff on there. Go out and join clubs, because you don't know who's connected to who, and especially get close with your professors, because most of them, that's just like their part-time job, and they have like outside jobs that can get you connections to the like outside world. One thing I'd go back and say to my senior self would be like to prepare. I know like financially I didn't prepare for like how to support myself when I'm at school, or like prepare myself for the fact that like when I go to college and if friends don't work out, like you're by yourself. So it's
Thank you.
definitely a change.
Yeah.
Advice I would give for students looking for their careers or programs, honestly, you don't have to be dead set on it right now. Like, I'm still not even set on what I want to do, but it's not something that you have to be stuck with the rest of your life. You can change it whenever you want to. It honestly, and college advisors are very helpful with helping you find what is best for you. Yeah, I mean, it's not like set in stone ever, but there's one thing I can go back and tell my senior self: save your money. I know you're probably hearing it from your parents and you're like, I don't need to save my money right now, like I have nothing to pay for. Those bills catch up to you very quickly. Especially when your parents decide to kick you off your car insurance. So please save your money. You won't regret it. Please. That's it.
The piece of advice I would say is like take this part of the college application, thing very seriously, because you don't want to get it wrong now and then later have to, face the consequences of it. You want to, put in the work now, do your research, really figure out what is the best decision for you, and then, go forward from there. It just makes the whole process so much easier if you take this part seriously, because you want to get it right. If there's one thing I could say to my senior self, I would say, like some of the other people said, make sure you do your best to get involved beforehand, because you don't want to be scrambling once you get to your school, because classes will start and then you'll have less time. You want to make sure when you get to the campus, it'd be nice for it to feel, you're already engrossed in it. So if you already know the programs you're going to do, if you already know the clubs you're going to do, it makes it so much easier.
Great.
For me, in terms of finding a career, I would just say to you guys, like, do what makes you happy and what you want to do. Don't worry about like the stability of it, because like I'm going to school for a fairly competitive industry. But I know that's what I want to do, and I know that's what's going to make me happy as a career, and I'm willing to accept the fact that it will be challenging at times. But because at the end of the day, you just want to look back and be happy with what you did, and don't regret any of the decisions that you made. And then for what I'd say to my high school self is just get along with each other. You don't have to be best friends, but you don't want your senior year to be filled with drama and beef with people. Like, you just want to just get along, because in a few months you're not going to see each other anymore, and you're going to realize that that you should have just moved past those issues, because like I look back at the drama that I was in high school and I was like, it's just stupid. So just don't do it.
Nice. Okay. So lastly, everybody, what is your best thing about college to date? Number one thing.
I can come and go as I please.
Good one.
Yeah, I would definitely say the independence, but honestly, joining club sports and the Ultimate Frisbee team has been the experience of a lifetime. So it's really great.
I would say all the freedom you get in playing like the sport I love.
Yeah, I'd say the freedom and just being able to like be by yourself and like do what makes you happy and not have to worry about like, oh, can I go this place? Can I go this place? You can just do whatever you want.
For me, it would be hosting 3 flag football games for the school.
Yeah, I'd definitely say the independence, and I also like being around, like-minded people.
Just the opportunities it presents for you. You get involved with a lot of stuff.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Okay, so now we're going to open it up to the floor. Does anybody have a question? There are microphones. I think Miss White's going to walk around, and Miss Nascimento. Just raise your hand if you have a question. This is the greatest time to find something out that you maybe don't know about college, the college process, things that are highlighted perhaps for this year.
My question, what was the biggest reality shock just going into college and everything, like something that you wish you knew before getting there that you didn't know?
Ooh, good question. Ooh, I like that question. Go ahead. Go on down the line.
My biggest reality check, going to class, because you really you do whatever you want, I gotta be honest. If you don't want to go, you don't have to go. It's not like the professor's gonna be like, oh, hey, you didn't go to class today, or hey, I didn't see that you signed your name for attendance. Like, you have to go to class. Because honestly, attendance is a part of your grade. So it's like if you don't go, if you don't show up because you don't feel like going or you overslept or whatever the case, it will go towards your grade. So go to class.
Yeah, good one.
I would say for me, it was definitely like saving money. You don't realize how little money you have until you run out of it. So, yeah, so definitely save money, and I would definitely recommend taking your time to look at whether it's on-campus jobs or off-campus. I kind of applied late to those, so that process has taken a little longer than it did for others, but definitely something to take advantage of.
I would definitely say like agreeing with Dee about like going to class. Like the professors aren't running after you, asking you like, oh, why aren't you at class? Like they really don't care. It's either you're at class or you're not. And I would say like the attendance really matters because if you like, I know for University of New Haven, if you miss 4 classes, you get like withdrawn like from the class like right away. So.
Jess, can you say that again? If you miss 4 classes?
Oh yeah, if you miss 4 classes, you get like, they like boot you out of the class.
Keep
so.
that in mind. Anybody going to college, a lot of schools do that. So if you don't show up, you actually just get kicked out of.
What?
No.
No.
So 4 classes, you don't show up, you overslept.
Yeah.
And what's that? No, it doesn't have to be in a row. It has to be in a semester. Then they dump you from the class, and you don't get $1 back.
My biggest reality check, especially going to a small school, is it's just like high school. Like, yeah. So if you, like, it has its benefits, but definitely, like, drama is a lot. Going through it right now. And, like, the class sizes are no more than, like, 20 to 25 students. And our policy isn't like you get withdrawn from the class, but you have 3 unexcused absences, and then you start getting points taken off your final grade. But normally, most of my professors are pretty lenient on that. Like, you just have to email them and let them know you're not going to be there.
You're very lucky, I think.
Yeah.
My biggest reality check was how expensive gas actually is. My commute is 30 minutes both ways, so I spend way too much money on gas. But I also have to say the drama. It's literally high school part 2, just with older people. And it's honestly, it's just as childish too, because it's like a lot of people don't get out of that high school mindset for a while.
I'd say it's like living with almost a complete stranger. Like the first week or so, it can be like kind of weird and tense in your room if you don't know your roommate like super well. I mean, you can meet them beforehand and whatnot, but you're still like, you don't really know them too well. So the first couple nights, it's a little weird.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Connor on that one. It's definitely an adjustment. I did random rooming, so I never met my roommate before until like he walked in the door and I helped him move in. So it was definitely an interesting experience, but you know, it's been fun. So.
Great. Thanks, guys. Next question.
Is it worth it to stay on campus overall? And if you had the choice to change it, would you change it?
So there's a couple of you that are, so D, you live on campus and you're close, you technically could kind of stay home, I guess. Same thing, Charles, and Jess, really, you could probably too. So would the three of you have it any other way?
Honestly, again, with the coming and going as I please, living on campus is honestly really good. I mean, yeah, I can always come home. I live 10 minutes away. So it's like living on campus, you're on your own. You have your own space, again. So it's like, honestly, for me, it's good. I like it.
Yeah, for me, definitely like when I got to college, I kind of like wanted to just separate myself from the at-home life that like I've always like lived. So it kind of gives you like, it starts a new chapter of your life, and you just feel like you're more part of the UConn community, especially with basketball games and stuff. It's just, it really is, it's more of a family than anything. So yeah, you create strong bonds, and living on campus definitely helps that.
Yeah, I would definitely say I wouldn't want to change, like, living on campus. We can't have our cars for freshmen, so, like, my teammates, like, my older teammates that really drive us around, but I kind of wish I would have a car, but I'm kind of glad that I don't with, like, gas money and everything. But it's kind of a pain trying to get home because I always have to find someone to pick me up. But, yeah.
Great. All right, anybody else have a question? Here we go.
Hello?
Now it works.
Is college a scam?
What's that?
Is college a scam?
What?
A scam.
Oh, no. Do you feel like you're getting a lot out of it? You know, you're a freshman, so it's a little bit more difficult to see the final result, obviously. But do you feel like this has been worth the money, I guess I would say? Is that what you're asking, Jacob? Kind of, is it worth the money? Do you feel as though it's worth the money?
As of right now, I really wouldn't say. I mean, that was my first semester, so it's like, it is worth it to me. It's not really like I don't know.
Good.
Yeah, so to be honest, the first 2 years of college, I would say it's not a scam in the aspect that that's the time to meet people, make your friends, get involved in clubs and stuff like that. But at the same time, there are times where you are taking your general eds your first 2 years. So it does kind of feel like you're taking a repeat of high school classes, and all you want to do is just get to those classes related to your major. But to getting there, like getting to your junior year and senior year to take those classes that are really going to have an impact on your career in the future, I would definitely say that it's worth every penny.
Okay, one more answer, and then we're wrapping up so whoever wants to take it, go ahead.
Honestly, I think it's overrated. It's a little overhyped, but I do think you should go just for the other experiences that you get with, one, learning how to be independent and holding yourself accountable to everything. And honestly, with some of the other student activities, you also get to learn other life skills. But I think overall, though, college is a little overhyped.
Wow, okay. Well, I just want to say thank you to our panelists who came to chat with you all today. Please give them a big round of applause. They're awesome. They could actually be sleeping right now and they're here. So, anyway, thank you guys. We really appreciate you coming. For the audience, hang out for like the 1 minute before the bell rings, please. That would be great. All right.